YouTube, what up? This your boy, Trucker and Rusty Eagle, back with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the in-cab inspection and three-point brake check, which you will need to pass in order to get your CDL license and move forward with the three tests that you have to take. Okay, so for your in-cab inspection, you're going to want to get in your truck. When you sit down, the examiner will explain your rules and tell you what you need to do in order to pass. So to start, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my examiner, alright, this is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my seatbelt, make sure it's properly mounted and secured, not torn with the fray, and it latches and unlatches securely. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to perform a safe start. I'm going to do that by making sure, first of all, my brakes are set, and my transmission is in neutral. And my two ABS lights should come on and off. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, my ABS lights have come on and off. My vehicle is safe to start. We'll power it up. Now I can proceed with my in-cab inspection. So the first thing I'd like to do, I do mine by checking my mirrors. I want to make sure that they're adjusted to me as the driver. Next step, I'm going to want to check my windshield. I want to make sure it's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No obstructions and no illegal stickers. Next thing I'm going to want to check is my windshield wiper arms and windshield wiper blades. I want to make sure that they're properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and no missing parts. Then we're going to check my windshield washer fluid. I want to make sure it's spread evenly across the windshield. Okay, next thing we're going to check is my city horn, my air horn. Then we're going to go to my left turn signal, my right turn signal, my hazard lights, my low beams, and my high beams. My low beams are indicated by the green icon on the dash, and my high beams are indicated by the blue icon on the dash. Next thing I'm going to want to check are my gauges. We have an oil gauge, a fill gauge, a depth gauge. The fill gauge is indicated by the white needle. The depth gauge is indicated by the blue needle on the dash. Next thing we're going to check is our air gauges. We have a primary air gauge and a secondary air gauge. They have to be between 120 and 140 psi. Then we're going to check our water gauge and our voltmeter. Our voltmeter has to read 14 point, well, it doesn't have to, but usually it will read 14.2 in my experience. Okay, we want to make sure all gauges are proper operating range. Then we're going to check our heating. So we'll turn both the dials to the right, and we'll turn our last dial to the floor and the defroster. And we're going to check for airflow through each one. Then we'll turn it back. Okay, so after that, we're pretty much ready to go ahead and start our our tug test, sorry. So for the tug test, I'm going to make sure my brakes are set. My transmission is in neutral. First one we're going to test is going to be our tractor brake. So we'll push in our trailer brake, put the transmission in drive, and give it a little tug. And the vehicle should not move backwards or forward. Once you do that, you'll go ahead and test your trailer brake the same way. So you'll reset your trailer brake and push in your tractor brake. Give it a little tug. Did it move? Both brakes are working. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask our examiner. Would you like us to perform a service brake test? The examiner will say no. Just explain. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to release your brakes, put your transmission in drive, and you're going to pull forward about 1 to 5 miles per hour. Then you're going to apply your service brake. Your vehicle should come to a complete stop, and your tractor and trailer should not veer to the left or to the right. Alright, now we're ready to go ahead and start my three-point brake check. So for the three-point brake check, you're going to want to bring your air pressure down to around 90 psi, and then allow it to build back up to 120, 140 psi. Then the next thing you're going to want to do, and when you build it to 120, 140 psi, your air governor should cut out. Okay, so you're going to bring it down to 90 psi. Then you're going to say, may I assist? Your examiner will say, yes, you may. Then you're going to rev the engine until your air governor cut out. It'll be indicated by a sneeze on the passenger side, so make sure you have that window rolled down. Alright, so after that, you'll tell the examiner, my air governor has cut out. Then you're going to tell him step number 2 will be, I'm going to turn my engine off and turn it back to the electrical position. Step number 3 will be, I'm going to release my brakes, my parking brakes. So we'll do that, which you'll say, I'm going to release my brakes to allow my air to stabilize. Boom, boom. Next step, Step number 4. I'm gonna hold my surface brake down for approximately 1 minute. And when I do, I should not lose more than 4 psi on a combination vehicle equipped with trailer air brakes. So we'll do that. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. The examiner will say stop. You'll tell them I did not lose more than 4 psi. Step number 5. You're gonna fan your brakes down to about 55 psi. And when that happens, your low air pressure warning audio and visual signal should come on. So we'll do that, and you'll say my low air pressure and audio visual signals will come on when you hear the beep. Step number 6. Now, I'm going to bring my air pressure down to around 20-45 psi. And when I do, both my parking brakes should release. So we'll do that. Then you'll tell the examiner, both my parking brakes have released, and this concludes my 3-point brake check. Now you pretty much know how to do an in-cab inspection and 3-point brake check. Trucking with Rusty Eagle, out.